Hello, I'm Doug Heaton from Kane County. Serve as a county commissioner there in southern Utah. I'd like to talk for a few minutes about what happens after we have allowed our forests to become too dense, and then the bugs take over. Because there's not enough water to repel the bugs, the forest then begins to die, and then it is ripe for fire conditions. An extremely dense forest makes a perfect condition for a wildfire. If a forest is adequately pruned and harvested and maintained, the fire doesn't just jump from tree to tree to tree and go wild. We can generally keep that fire on the ground, and it's a lot easier to put out. Sometimes it'll go out on its own. It actually may do some good. But when that fire, that tree gets to the point where it begins to be ripe for conditions, Mother Nature inevitably will start a fire. She uses the lightning, and then the fire burns. If the fuel content of the forest is allowed to remain or to grow to extreme density, then that fire becomes what I call a catastrophic fire. It has so much fuel and it burns so hot that the ground is actually baked. What used to be something that would absorb the rainfalls, something like a sponge, now turns into something more like saran wrap. And instead of soaking into the ground, the rainwater just flows away, and it becomes torrents of raging torrents of water that do a massive amount of erosion, and it ends up washing a lot of the forest debris back into the water, back into the fisheries and the streams, kills all of our fish. Fires destroy animals. A lot of people think that somehow the animal is able to flee, but they don't. They're like we are. They have this comfort zone that they love to retreat to in times of danger. They simply go where they have been taught to go as a little fawn or as a young animal. They go to that little thicket or that cozy place where they've always felt safe. Maybe it's a hole in the ground or in a tree. They go where they feel safe, and they remain there because they've always been taught, if you'll hold still, the danger will pass you by. Well, it doesn't work in the case of a fire. They end up being roasted along with everything else. And so we lose our animals, and we lose our watershed, and now the ground can no longer absorb the water. The water tables go down, and the watershed is destroyed, sometimes intergenerationally, because of the heat of the fire. And we can avoid this by simply making our forests more fire resistant, by managing the forest to a proper tree density. By managing the forest, then the animals have a wonderful place to go. Current environmental policy, very frankly, is just loving our forests to death. We need to have the ability to discipline our forests. Thank you very much.